Oh no, this has got to end. All right, so what do we have here? We have our new suburban chicken coop area, chicken run, whatever you want to call it. It's a 30 by 40 foot pen out here with a lot of kind of virgin area that they can scratch through and eat up. They probably get about 75% of their daily calories from scratching through here and eating all the forage. So this has been working wonderfully for this many chickens. But this has become kind of our misfit flock, the chickens that don't belong anywhere else, and a duck. And this is what happens with the water. So the ducks eat in the water. They're dirty animals as far as that's concerned, because they're used to living around lakes and streams and things. And this is what happens. I just filled this up and cleaned this bucket about an hour ago, and this is what I've gotten from that duck. That's how it eats, and nothing against the duck, but it's not fair for the chickens to have to come and eat out of this little thing. And I have a total of 10 birds out here, including the duck, and they all live in the suburban chicken coop here, which has been working out really well. And if you have seen previous videos, and I'll put the link to the whole series on the suburban chicken coop, this thing has been awesome. And I've got the automatic feeder in here, which works great. The ducks and the chickens both share this, and they eat the same food, and it just gets filled up right here. And I have a video on making that. If you're interested, I'll link that as well. But they just, gravity feeds down underneath here. It keeps it dry out of the rain, and they come and eat out of there, which it's empty right now, actually. So if you've seen in the past the videos that I've done on watering systems, I've done a whole automatic barn watering system. I've done the pigs, various watering systems for them. And in the suburban coop, we had the chicken watering system. In all those examples, I've used what's called a chicken dripper or a chicken nipple, or for the pigs, they have one for them. These things are hands down the best way to water your animals. They are clean. They don't require any cleaning. They don't waste water. They're easy to automate and hands-free, and they're easy to prevent from freezing and that in the wintertime. But I have something I want to show you guys today that is pre-made, ready to rock out of the box, a completely automatic watering system using those chicken drippers. So let's check it out. All right, so this thing is just so cool. So a guy by the name of Farmer Brad makes these as his company there, and made in the USA. It's a complete package here. Everything you need to water your chickens. Comes with the drippers installed on the bottom. It's a small bucket, 2 gallons. Drippers already installed on the bottom. Easy to hang, so it's got a nice strong handle on it, not one of the cheap ones that falls out. So you can hang this anywhere. And it also has a hose spigot hookup on the side, which inside here, open this up. This bucket's got a good seal on it. On the inside here, you'll see it's got a float valve. So if you know a lot about these chicken drippers or chicken nipples, you can't have pressure on them. So they're meant for like 5 psi or less. So if you were to hook a hose right up to a system directly, you put so much pressure on them, as soon as the chickens hit these things, it just shoots water out, and it also makes them very hard to get the water out. And so you can't really put direct pressure on it. So we have a float valve in here that will just keep this filled up. So it'll keep the level, about halfway in here, keep about a gallon of water in there. Perfect. Comes with an extra dripper in case you need to replace one down the road. These things, I've never had to replace one. The seals seem to last quite a long time, and everything seems to be pretty good with them. You can take them apart, and there is a little ball in there, I believe. But I've never had to adjust or replace those. The float valve is adjustable, so you can make sure that it's working properly in there and everything. But what a great idea. What a simple little invention. So if you guys are, especially with your suburban flocks, this thing will feed, really, probably do 20 or 30 birds with this thing, or even more, really. But even with your small flocks, these things are perfect. Now, probably a lot of you guys are asking, well, what are you going to do in the wintertime seems to be the question I always get for us in the northern climate. My plan is to just I've got these little 50-watt aquarium heaters. They're about this big. They only take 50 watts. They just, it's not going to keep this thing at 100 degrees, but they suction cup right to the bottom in here, right between all the drippers. And I'll run a cord up the side and out, and I'll plug it into our barn. Real low power consumption. It'll just keep at least the bottom of this here from freezing. And then I'll disconnect the hose at that time, and I'll just fill it manually. Let's get this thing set up out here in the coop and get some clean water for our chickens. So I've got the chicken coop back here, and our house is up in that corner, and then over on this corner we have our barn. And so I'm going to hang the water right off of this corner post. It's close to our barn. I can run a hose from the barn out to here, hook it up, and electricity out here in the wintertime to keep it from freezing. So this is the post that I'm going to use, and all I've done was just cut out a 45-degree V shape on a piece of 2x4 that was left over. It was already stained the same color. Screwed in a hook, and then this will just, and I drilled some pilot holes there, some countersunk holes, and I'm just gonna mount it right to my post, and then this will allow the dripper to hang. Now, everyone always asks me how high do you put it? Well, it really depends on the birds you're watering. If you have some pretty good size chickens, we have barred rocks and that here, I would go 24 inches. They can reach up to them a lot easier than squatting down underneath this thing. And you can always put a couple pieces of wood at the bottom if you want to, so that they can reach it. If they're too short, or if you have babies, you can stack up a little stair step here and they can get to it. So it's always better to do it higher rather than lower. All right, so we got it all filled up. Looks like the float valve is working perfectly in there. And just a note too, it also has a fill port right on the top here. So you can just, you don't have to have the hose hooked up to it all the time. You just pop the hose through the fence and fill it up this way. All right, so we finally have an automatic watering system set up here for this flock, and we have the auto feeder set up. So these guys are almost 100% automatic. I still have to come out and lock them in every night, but maybe we'll get an automatic chicken door. And we'll look into one of those and see what we can do. So we won't have to do that. But I can't tell you guys how important it is to get some type of automatic watering system and feeding system for your chickens, no matter how big your flock. It just makes life so much easier, especially if you need to take a vacation or anything like that. Life is so much better, and it's better for the chickens. This product here I will link in the description. Farmer Brad has offered anybody, viewers of the SSL Family Dad channel, a $5 discount, so you can go ahead and check those out and pick one up for yourself if you're interested. From what I can tell, it's a very solid, great well-built product made in the USA, and it's going to work just perfectly out here. As always, guys, thanks for checking it out today. I just wanted to bring you along and show you how we're making life easier for these chickens and for ourselves. It's so important to have automatic systems in place for these animals. The less and less time you can spend doing the routine tasks that you have to do each day, the more time that you can spend improving your life for the animals, and especially in an environment like we're here at a farm. I mean, every minute counts. So, if I have to spend 5 or 10 minutes every day, morning and night, taking care of a water dish, add that up for the year, and how much time is that I could have been spending building pastures or taking care of the hay fields or doing whatever. Here on the farm there's just so many things to do, so that time is extremely important, and the more you can automate these processes, the better off you're going to be and the more successful you're going to be. So we're doing it here slowly, but this auto water from Farmer Brad is a great addition here, and it's going to work perfectly in this little flock. So thank you to him, and again, check out the link below if you want any information on that or want to check that out. If you guys have questions, comments, suggestions, please throw them down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I've been doing the automatic watering and feeding systems with all different kinds of animals and stuff here, so if you have questions about any of that stuff, just let me know. I'd love to answer that if I can. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys, as always, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.